8.
You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Experience. In fact, welcome to the Comic Collectables show with Rex and John and Rockin Robbie. Rex and John are not here right now. However, I'm here. Jay's here. What's up, Jay? How you doing?
Oh, doing good, boss. Gonna be an interesting show today.
It's going to be a great show. I can go ahead and tell you, if Rex was here right now, he would be like, what's up, everybody in the chat? We appreciate you being here. Robbie, how about them Cowboys? That's what he would do. But since Rex is not here, we don't get to talk smack about football to start off the show. We're going to just say this. I am very happy to see everybody here tonight, including we got Brian, we got Jay up there, we got Eddie Von B in the house. We've got, who else? Triple B is in the house, Round Guy. No, it was not my makeup appointment that, I don't wear makeup on streams. Maybe I should. I'd probably be a little bit less shiny. But what's up, Stevie B? What's up, Marcus? What is up, everybody? That is right. Team Dynamite are having some internet issues, surprisingly enough. So we're just going to kick it off here and say what's up. I hope everybody has had a great weekend. If you watch football, I hope that your team won or did well, or at least made you feel proud. Because one thing about the Cowboys is I actually am proud of them after that game. That was one of the best football games I've seen in a while. All right, this week, we got the new Captain Marvel movie coming out. The Marvels releases this week. There's already a lot of rumors going around saying that it's going to be a disappointment financially to the expectations of Marvel Studios. So here's the question today. Over or under $70 million for the opening weekend of The Marvels? What do you think? I think under. That's what I think. Also, we got 2 giveaways tonight, so everybody be sure to stick around. Jay, do you have any more information about those giveaways right now?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show them. And then, sorry, folks, it's not just going to be Robbie and Jay today. Apparently, they did make it. But let me show the giveaways real quick.
Let's keep them out of here for a while, Jay. Let's just do that.
True Believers Carol Danvers for the first one. And then we have the Magnificent Miss Marvel for the second giveaway. So, not sure what the hashtag or anything like that is yet, but all right, Robbie, let's go ahead and bring them in.
Let's bring them in. I see a lot of unders in the chat, by the way.
Probably. And the weird thing is, right before we bring them in, the weird thing is, to me, I think this movie looks better than the first Captain Marvel. That's just me.
Looks good to me. Hey, there they are.
Oh my God, whole different tech problem today, boy. So the big screen wouldn't work.
You have to stop drinking before we do this. I'm sorry.
No, I need to start drinking before I do this. Are you kidding me? The computer wouldn't reboot, and we couldn't get it up on the big screen. We had to move the TV, unplug everything, replug it in, and that worked.
Literally, Alex and I were holding onto the TV while he was pulling stuff out, and I was like,
I'm ready to shoot Comcast. Anybody else that
I still think we should be doing this show on Talking Viewmaster. Let people.
So are you telling me that all you had to do was turn it off, unplug it, plug it back up, and turn it back on again?
No. Tried to reboot the laptop several times. Tried to turn the TV on and off several times. And finally, when nothing would work, I just asked John and Alex to come in here, hold TV, yank the plug out. We replugged it into another port, and then we solved the problem. Yes, so it was very, very technical. We yanked the plug, then plugged it back in is essentially what happened.
Okay, nice.
Let's jump in real quick.
To catch you up, we've already talked about the Eagles-Cowboys game, so we don't need to talk about that. And we've been talking and setting up the Marvels this weekend of asking everybody if they think it will go over or under 70 mil for the first weekend.
Nice try, Robbie. Nice try. That was a valid attempt, but I'm not even going to say what you think I'm going to say. I'm not going to gloat. I'm not going to say anything. You know why? Because the first half of football looked like, hey, two pretty good contenders, playoff teams playing each other. Second half of that game looked like two teams trying to lose, but couldn't even successfully do that. Okay? I mean, no, I'm not going to bash on your Cowboys. I'm going to bash on your Cowboys and our Eagles at the same time. Okay? That last sequence, okay? Nobody, not an Eagles fan, not a Dallas fan can say that the refs ruined that game. You kidding me? We fumble the ball, get the ball back, put you guys on the 5-yard line on the wrong side, have 5 penalties to put you on the 5-yard line on the other side, and then you guys proceed to say, no, we don't really want to win this game either, and then proceed to turn a first and goal at the 5 into what? 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20? I have never seen
and as far as the points go, Rex, a matter of inches for some of those points, really. You know, when that dude's knee was right there down, Dak steps out, CD almost makes it at the end. It was like, I'll tell you what, though, it was as a fan and spectator kind of perspective, it was a really interesting game to watch. Like, I enjoyed the game. I like what you said about the first half versus the second half, but it was one of those games where, like, the tension, the rivalry, it was working, man.
It's one of those games that you like to watch as a fan if you don't really like or care about either team. Okay. That's what I think. Like, if it was, I don't know, the Lions and the Bears, all right, I would go, wow, did you watch that game last night? Don't really care about the Lions, don't really care about the Bears. Okay. But as an Eagles fan, that was a travesty, dude. We won that game. You might as well have just flipped the coin. Okay. That was pretty much what it boiled down to. As you say, the inches, okay, that's really a flip of a coin. That nobody seemed to want to win that game in the second half at all. That was a horrendous.
I just got a phone call from somebody saying,
"Is it Comcast?"
He's like, "I didn't realize I was watching the NFL ticket."
You are.
He said, "I'm going to buy."
Okay. I have to say that's something we have to discuss because the rivalry
The
itself,
NFL ticket, we don't.
but the fact that Robbie is a huge Dallas Cowboys fan.
All right. Hey, they lost. Let's get to selling books.
Wow, that was really sensitive of you. Rob, you okay? I'm even more sensitive to your feelings.
I had already moved on past the show and was getting into the topics of comic books, what we may have coming up today. I was already on point.
We were in a little bit longer than when you let us back in. I just want to say that, okay?
Robbie brought up a good point about the Marvels. Right now,
There you go. It's the NFL Perm Zone. So anyway, Black Panther. We got Black Panther.
we have Miss Marvel up there, which she stepped on my segue.
All right, come on. We got really, really cool commission cover art. Keep going. Go sell.
What were you going to say?
Well, Robbie was talking about the Marvels, which is coming up this weekend. There's all kinds of talk about it. Some of the buzz is good, some of the buzz is not. Robbie, the over and under of $70 million. I'll tell you right now, there's no over and under. It's under. It'll be under $70 million.
Now, are we talking domestic?
Right.
We're talking, international.
I don't know if they have international the first couple of days, to be honest.
Yeah, it's for opening weekend. We're usually just discussing domestic.
Right? Here's the deal. Remember 6 or 7 years ago when people were getting clicks and becoming popular journalists by making the Marvel movies way better than they actually were? Those same people have now flipped the script, and everybody gets clicks, including major publications, by posting the most nonsense stuff about the Marvel Universe will never recover cinematically. But stop. Just stop. People saying the movie is woke, just stop. It's like a full stop, pull the ripcord.
Right. Well, I think that we've talked about that before, is that nobody is going to watch the news when somebody says, hey, it's partly cloudy, about 65 degrees. It's nice little breeze at 15 miles an hour. But they want to hear about snow again.
It's if it bleeds, it leads. It's always the most exciting thing. Please stop. Marvel Studios isn't the greatest thing in the history of cinema. Marvel Studios isn't in free fall and they don't know what they're doing. You guys need clicks. You don't care what the content is. You just need to click.
Thank you, Marcus. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's it. It's hate clicks. It's rant cells.
What's up, Ron?
Will the Marvels be the best Marvel movie? No, not at all. This is real specific. They're trying to create not just a movie or a series of movies. They're trying to create an entire market that is inclusive as possible, right? Super big picture. Nobody has still touched what Marvel did in the first 10 years, Marvel Studios. Nobody's still touched it. Endless stories. Now, as for this particular movie, Miss Marvel is very popular. The secondary Captain Marvel, I guess Photon, I'm not sure exactly what name they're going to give her. Nobody knows enough about that character or the actress playing her. You can't expect her to carry the film. And then we have Brie Larson, who quite honestly has had about enough of fanboy nonsense in social media. My guess is this will be the last time we'll see her as Captain Marvel, because as a working actor, she realizes the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Plain and simple.
I would agree with that.
They can't possibly pay her enough to make it worthwhile for zillions of vacant-eyed, window-licking mouth breathers to bang away at their keyboards about how Marvel's great one day and Marvel's not great the next day.
How can you talk about me and Rex like that, John? Come on, we're supposed to be friends here.
Present company excluded, or is it included? I don't know.
Wait, what did you describe them as again?
Vacant-eyed, window-licking mouth breathers.
Wow. I might want to write that one down.
That
I want to
being
use
said,
that one
I
again.
don't care if you like the movie or
What's
not.
up, Brown Guy?
I mean, I really don't. I'm going to go see it. I think I've got 5 seating scheduled between Thursday and Sunday. So yeah, next Monday I'll have seen this movie at least 5 times.
We're all going to see it. Okay. I mean, it's even if we walk out and we hate it, we're all going to see it.
Yeah, I think at this
just
point,
don't see us not seeing it.
We've talked about this before. Hollywood in general, not Marvel. There's a lot of creative bookkeeping going on in the way they're explaining losses of money.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost so much money.
It's all coming out in the strike too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't believe you. If you tell me you lost $50 million on the Marvels, I simply won't believe you. Maybe it'll be up until the videos come out, the T-shirts get sold, the global money. It's just not true. They got rid of Batgirl, whatever. They got rid of these movies, and they almost admitted they did it for tax write-offs. Right. The accounting of Hollywood, there's no accounting for the accounting in Hollywood. Will this movie be great? I'll enjoy it because I enjoy all the Marvel movies. On the Citizen Kane scale, probably not.
Right.
We've got Miss Marvel stuff tonight. Why don't we throw something up there?
No.
Or Captain Marvel?
Both of them are giveaways.
Oh, they're giveaways. Should have told me that before. I didn't realize they were both giveaways.
Why? We never tell you anything else. We just let you ramble.
Why didn't you mention that in the production meeting I sat in? That was when I was holding the television.
You mean when you came in and grabbed your Snapple and sat down and chatted with the rest
Actually,
of the
I brought
employees
the Snapple.
while I'm yelling, John, Alex, help!
You want to be funny? The only reason I didn't do it is because I know Nick likes his privacy. A buddy of mine delivers these to offices and stuff like that. I was just going to put Dynamite on the list. And so when Alex opens the door and somebody's bringing in soda and Snapple.
Yeah, our production meeting consisted of me yelling for John and Alex to come in and
please help me.
Okay, to hold the TV so we can
the Marvels beat Aquaman? That's a very good question, Stevie B.
I think it can. I think it can.
I don't think it will. I think Jason Momoa is Aquaman character. Jason Momoa way up here. Jason Momoa is the new Dwayne Johnson.
I would agree with
whatever
Marcus.
They put him in.
I would agree with Marcus.
People love it.
It will be Black Adam for sure. I have to agree with that.
I wonder if you factor out the 9 different revenue streams they had to pay Dwayne Johnson, if Black Adam really lost all the money they claimed it did, or is it just that guy got blood out of the stone? And that's
we've talked about this before, and one of the problems that's plaguing the Marvels right now is that this movie was already supposed to be out. It's been delayed. And they were doing reshoots and all this kind of stuff. They moved Ant-Man up ahead of it. So the longer you delay a film, the more money it costs you. So the longer you delay it, the more and you're removing it further. So Captain Marvel and Aquaman both were billion-dollar movies. Their sequels will not be nowhere close to that. Nowhere.
Well, I think especially too, there's a lot of little things going on. This is sort of everyone keeps saying the next DC movie is the farewell of that previous universe. I think in this case it really is. I think this is goodbye to that pre-gun
Who knows, dude?
Safran Universe. Like I said, we could wake up tomorrow and those guys could be gone.
Yeah,
They could be gone.
That's a very real possibility.
Scott Snyder or whatever could be in charge.
Yeah,
and everybody be like,
I think it's a very real possibility. I think Robbie and I kind of touched on it on Friday. Talking about Marvel and what's happening with them and stuff. And yeah, it could be. At this point, I don't think they really know. We talked about
Black Panther is big in the news again right now because there was a tragedy, unfortunately. But,
I read about that.
But prior to that, Daniel, and I'm going to butcher this actor's name, and I apologize. Kaluuya. Anyway,
the guy from Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not great with names. I'm sorry. But the truth is, he was caught saying something about pick a new Black Panther. He doesn't want to see the Black Panther fade away. He's like, what happened is awful, but pick someone else and go with it, even if you take a little bit of headwind. He's like, pick somebody. He doesn't care if it's another actor, another time. I think the Black Panther franchise is important for a lot of reasons to keep first and foremost. People are like, oh, they're talking about bringing back, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. We'll see exactly how much of that happens.
I've said this from the beginning, John, but I understand what such a tragic passing of a rising star. Chadwick Boseman never even really fulfilled the promise of where his career could have went,
Really, he did not get that full swing.
Yeah, exactly, right? But that character is too relevant to too many people for them not to do it. And so and I think enough time has passed now that I think we're ready for it. So,
well, you can make the argument that let's just look at the last 20-ish years of the MCU, the 21st century, of Marvel Comics, right? Pretty much all their stuff, the Ultimates were everything Ultimate was eclipsing the basis. You know what was really good under multiple creators? Black Panther.
No, I would agree.
We had a ton of really good Black Panther books when Avengers was just recycling stories, and Fantastic Four and Iron Man recycling stories. All the creative energy was over here with the Ultimates. All the wild, cool, crazy stuff that went into the movies. Right. Brian, I would not be. There's a lot of reasons why Kang might be replaced. Well, I know the actor has issues.
Well, I think that's something we also touched on Friday. I think that Jonathan Majors they're taking the lesson from the Ezra Miller incident from DC, and I think they're going to swap them out. But all right, let's
throw some Black Panther stuff up here.
Yeah, let's go to the sketch covers first. I saw that Ron was in the house, so we're going to start with that. All right. So, Jay, we're going to start with the Harley Quinn #1, signed with Harley cover sketch by our buddy Dan Needlinger.
Dan Needlinger, he's a nice job there.
I can't imagine who that might look like. Anyway.
Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like he's trying to.
A little like Barbie. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Well, I think he's trying to bridge the gap between.
Well, of course he is.
Lady Gaga and what's her name? I can't think of her name. Well,
I don't know. I'm totally picking up Jack Nicholson from The Shining vibes here. Here's Harley.
All right, so suggested retail of $149.99. We have it tonight for $96.
Yeah, the pictures are out there. Lady Gaga is going to be the next Harley Quinn in the Joker Part 2 or whatever they're calling it. It's kind of like a musical. It seems like it's just more craziness.
A musical.
They have tons of pictures of her as Harley Quinn. I think her sort of celebrity is going to carry that movie along with the comic book people. I think that's going to be, we're talking about sequels falling short of originals. I think the Joker sequel will not. I think people are going to want to see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
Right. All right. So next up, we have Bucky Barnes, The Winter Soldier, #1, signed with Black Widow, Captain America, and Wolverine cover sketch by, again, our buddy Dan Needlinger. Suggested retail of $199.99. We got it tonight for $129.99. I love this stuff. He is one
that's
new
cool. Jim Lee homage right there.
Yeah.
And we do have a new artist to show tonight. So we're going to get to that in a sec, which is very, very cool.
Thomas, I agree with you. Yeah. That's very much an Elseworld title for DC. I don't even know if DC could be said to have a primary reality or Earth or whatever. I don't know if there's an Earth one in the DC, EU. I don't know if they're doing that.
All right. So next up, we have Batman #1 signed with classic Batman cover sketch by Brendan and Brian Frame. It's just a retail of $129.99, and we've got it for $75.
It's really nice on that yellow. Actually, that looks really nice in the yellow.
It adds more of, I guess the word I'm going to look is made up here, but it adds more of a golden ageness to it. Golden agency. I'm not sure what the word, because you would not see that today. You wouldn't see those choices made today. But I think in the golden age, you saw those choices made weekly, monthly on the newsstand.
All right. Then next up, we have Batman Beyond. Okay, new artist. Batman Beyond #1 signed with Robin and Superboy cover sketch by new artist Tony Scott. So if somebody else in Mariano's found, he's going to be doing sketch covers, sketch cards, and who knows what else for Dynamite. That's outside of my department. That's Mariano, but he keeps coming.
I'll have a talk with Mariano.
Okay, you do.
I'll have a talk with him. I'll go to his desk.
These great artists. Another great one. He showed me this Tony Scott's work, and I was absolutely blown away. I said, "Give me one."
This is a little bit of the inside baseball of like physically being here. Like I joke around about Mariano's desk, but I peek at Mariano. Well, I got a peek. He shows me some of the stuff that's coming in for this type of work is insane. The placement for Superboy's cape here is pretty just cool. And these are very popular. I don't know if they're quite as popular as they were a few years ago. My guess is I understand that this is the next thing they're working on. DC's live action films all over the place. DC animated stuff has been great for 25 years, 30 years, however. And apparently the next thing they're working on is Super Sons. So in a perfect world, Super Sons would get like 10 episodes on Max.
Super Sons is definitely something that they should like have and do like an animated series, package it towards younger kids. I think it could work because Super Sons had a great energy for an all ages book in particular.
It really did. It absolutely did. We had some of the stuff here for Super Sons. I kind of jumped onto that late. I thought it was primarily for a younger audience, but it's really not. Mark Wade was one of the people on social media talking about, this is not just for kids. This is for fans of Batman and Superman, particularly that Silver Age stuff where they had sons, where they were like a little bit older.
It's also just kind of one of DC's big bumbles over the last few years is when they aged up Jonathan Kent, and you basically had this IP, this franchise building slowly, garnering a lot of word of mouth that could have led to many cool things, and then you undercut it by having Bendis come in.
Illust 888, I believe, is our friend and new sketch artist Tony Scott.
Oh, cool.
So, hey, Tony.
Tony, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, buddy. We love this, by the way.
Yeah, this is very good.
We'll get more on, but Mariano was a little stingy.
I don't know if Mariano explained. We need copies of those here on the show for our own selves. Did Mariano explain that?
No, Tony, do not listen to this man to my right.
I'll shoot you an email.
He's just this comic book fan that wanders in from the street, and that's how we met him. Okay?
Ken Hazer said every
Monday.
Ken said every time he gets that message on Instagram, he twitches a little bit, like his eye goes, because he's like, oh, God. He's like, what do you need now?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Ron,
you got it, Ron.
Ron, that's a great claim, man. I mean, Tony did a very cool job there. I agree with what Robbie said. They should have really rode this. They should have rode this into shore, so to speak.
Right.
I understand the Jonathan Kent thing. It's fine if they wanted to pop him here and there. We've seen some cool versions of what these guys become in the future. We've seen the nice version. We've seen essentially the not so nice version. You know what I mean? Where Jonathan Kent is almost like just floating in space, Dr. Manhattan-like, and somehow Damian Wayne has become like John Constantine. He's like ruling Gotham so there's a huge amount of room there, but I would have left the primary sort of focus be these guys as teenagers, which is, I guess, the right term. They were sort of like 12, 13, 11, something like that, because you can do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Right. Ron, great pickup. We're gonna have more of Tony's stuff on, in future shows. Tony, great piece, by the way. I
Tony,
immediately caught my eye.
I will probably shoot Mariano the first 70 or 80 ideas that I have, and you can get to work.
It's all right. Don't worry about it, Tony. All of John's emails goes into a special junk folder that Mariano has created.
You're hoping Comcast cuts out right now, don't you?
A little bit.
No, this is the first time we've had his work on the show, and I just think that's all jokes aside, it's really cool. That's a great pickup.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Fear Itself #1, signed with Man Thing cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $99.99. It is one of our 5-star and $50 books.
Ken talked a little bit on Instagram about how his kind of take on Man Thing really improved when we had the Werewolf by Night thing last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of the first time you've seen like a fully actualized Man Thing for more than like a split second on the screen, right? And he talked about how that sort of, like helped him lock in as an artist. And that's one of the things I love when these artists go on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and they kind of do these, BTS things where you're seeing the sketches or whatever, and you kind of get that little peek. I mean, I don't know if that's something that Ken talked about on this show, but on his Instagram channel, he talked about, it helps as an artist. It's hard to have a model. And Alex Ross talked about this too. It's hard to have a model for fictional characters, right? Because you find somebody and you try to put them in a costume, but there's no Man Thing.
Right. All right. So last one cover sketch of the night is Civil War II #1, signed with Kang cover sketch Collage.
Oh,
you got it, Ron. All right.
That's a layup claim for Ron. That's awesome. I like that Man Thing a lot.
All right. This is the collage effect. Was it last? No, it wasn't last.
It's Loki in the background, right?
Yeah, but the Monday before, right?
When we had Mariano here doing the collage.
So he was doing a different collage and explaining how the process works. So what you see is Kang and what he's standing on, pencils, inks, color. Okay, the background is a collage. And Mariano, if you go back and watch a rewind on 2 Mondays ago, we have Mariano on with a separate camera explaining how that whole process happens. Very cool.
I hope we get to do that again sometime.
Yeah, we should. You got to convince Mariano, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mariano.
I leave that to you. Your nagging, I heard, is incessant. So I leave that in your capable hands.
Talk to my wife again, did you? Yeah, it's...
all right.
That's a good word for it.
Geez, I'm sorry, Jay.
We got to run a break. Sorry, Jay. Thanks for hanging in. We'll get back. We have a lot of cool stuff tonight. And I've got Alex peeking at something that hopefully we get on the show in the future.
All right, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below. Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wigline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Friendly as possible.
Right. All right, we're
We are
back.
back.
All right, so let's do a quick Rex cap on the cover sketches, and then we'll move to sign books. How about that? All right, so here we go. Oh, the giveaways. I forgot about the giveaways. Sorry about that, Jay. The giveaways, we have 2 tonight. So we're going to show that. We're going to make up a hashtag. All right, so first giveaway, True Believers, Carol Danvers, number 1. Reprints Marvel Superheroes number 13 from 1962. And then
I have this book, and I cannot tell you, this is one of my favorite covers because that's my favorite version of Captain Marvel.
Well, you're not eligible to win anyway.
No.
So,
When you have the original,
right.
You don't need the homage.
No, that's true. All right, so then we have Magnificent Miss Marvel number 2 from 2019. And this is our second giveaway. And we're going to make it hashtag EXP Marvels. How about that, Jay? Since it's Marvel's week. I'm actually looking forward to it, believe it or not. I liked the Brie Larson Captain Marvel. I liked the first movie. I know not everybody did.
I enjoyed the first movie, Rex. You're not alone. I enjoy that first movie. I really like Brie Larson for the most part as that character. The first movie's got like that 90s cheesy action movie kind of aesthetic, kind of something like Last Action Hero, something like True Lies. Like it's going for that in certain places, and it's not always successful. But I had a lot of fun with that movie, and
I did.
I don't know. I think Brie Larson's a cutie personally. So there you go.
And the 80s was kind of a cool place to go back in time. It's long
So when
enough now.
Fiona Dora hears this, do we have to edit this in post so he doesn't wind up that Robbie finds Brie Larson?
No, me and Fiona have an understanding, so it's okay.
A little doll comes and murders Robbie.
Robbie's that guy in
that
high
worked
school.
out poorly.
Robbie's that guy in high school, at 14. Yeah, I got a girlfriend, in France.
No,
you would never have met her. You wouldn't know her. She's in Canada.
She lives in France.
Robbie and Fiona were canoodling at a con. I don't know what else to call it.
France.
In France. No, well, it could have been in France, but I think it was in Louisville or Lexington.
Someplace we've never been to.
Brings a lot of cheat day.
Every day's cheat day, Marcus and Robbie land.
That
Oh
boy.
my goodness.
All right, let's get to the sign books. So first up, we have Vampirella Strikes number 1, Atlas Signature Edition, signed by Tom Snagowski. Suggested retail of $49.99, and we got it for $19.69 tonight for the year that Vampy came out.
I really like this. I've always liked the Atlas comic stuff, but Tom in particular has a real sort of long view. Tom has been writing Vampirella since.
All right, Mike Asbell, you got
nice,
it, buddy.
Mike. That's a nice claim.
Tom's been doing it since the Harris days, right?
Harris days. I had a conversation with Tom one night, and it had to be 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and we're going back and forth about like a plot point from something he wrote at Warren. And I said to him, at this point, I'm just waiting for the police to knock on the door.
Ironically enough, Tom Snagowski also has developed that funny eye twitch whenever John texts him.
No, Tom is actually one of the few people that's glad when I message him.
Are you sure?
I can only go by what his writing partner and caregiver, Janine Atchison, says.
Uh-huh. So are you really sure, John?
Ish. Sure ish.
Oh man! All
Well,
right.
I know
And I
Jeff
feel like you're the guy that goes to a gentleman's club and go, "No, guys, I think she really liked me. Like we had a connection."
right? No.
She looks really smart.
Jeff Parker had a chance
Mhm.
to get rid of me for good, but what did he do? He sent his boy a blue sky code because he wanted me right on over there. Because nobody else
Let's
gets
see his fake account.
nobody else gets his Lancelot Link secret chimp references but me.
To live in John's world, or at least whatever happens inside his head at night. All right. Next up, we have Pathfinder #1 Virgin cover signed by Jim Zub. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is #2 of only 5 signed.
Wow.
We got it for $19.99 signed.
Wow, 2.5.
Jim Zub really making a name for himself right now over at Conan the Barbarian. Such a great book. He's doing a fantastic job.
All right. Next up, we have Red Sonja, Black, White, Red, #1, Amanda Debert, and Kat Staggs, signed Atlas edition. Let me see here. Oh, wait. Okay, so, Mike, you're claiming the Pathfinder. Gotcha, bud.
Yeah, 2 of 5. I'm pretty sure someone was going to claim that.
All right. I got you down, buddy. All right, so Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red, #1, Amanda Debert, and Kat Staggs, signed Atlas edition. Suggested retail of $75. And we've got it tonight for $19.73.
And I'll tell you, both of them are a delightful follow on social media because you kind of get a little bit of a peek of their real life as they're trying to balance like parenting and professionalism and, you know what I mean? And, do it. It's kind of neat. There's a lot of little funny stories that kind of, it starts with, so I wrote this today, and then it kind of devolves into like this very wholesome family story about what's going on at our house.
All right. Then next up, we have Deadpool and Cable #26, signed by Dwayne Zorinsky. And we've got it for $19.91 tonight. All right. We'll do all the signed ones. I realize I never did the Rex Cap on stuff. So we'll do a full Rex Cap after this. All right. Next up, we got Siege #1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. #47 of only 50 signed, and we've got it for $29.99. And I'm telling you, if you send away to get Bendis' signature, it costs you a lot more than $29.99, and that's not even including the shipping and whatnot. So we got this available, #47 of 50 for $29.99 signed. So Weird says,
this is one of these things I thought should have been bigger. This was like a very weird time period where, this is when I talked about Marvel was sort of trying to find gears for their 616 books. Suddenly, Asgard is in Oklahoma, and Norman Osborn has got like the Thunderbolts. I guess they're like the Dark Avengers. It's very hard to get through that stuff. I love the Avengers, and I've read those books for decades. It was real hard to get through that. Once we got through that first Civil War, Civil War was sort of like the end. I knew a lot of people that had been reading the Avengers since the 1970s.
Right.
Civil War came, and they were like, "All right, I'm out. You don't want to create new villains, so you just have the heroes fight each other." No.
See, I actually think it's a strong point for Bendis and for the Avengers history and for Marvel was the post-Civil War kind of thing. Like, I mean, they were basically going from one event to another, but Bendis was kind of like guiding it in a really cool way. And I loved Dark Reign because one of my favorite villains of all time is Norman Osborn, and seeing him finally rise to be like not just a threat to Spider-Man, which he had been for decades, but have him be a Marvel universe line wide kind of threat. I loved it. He had that secret, secret cabal, right? And one of my favorite moments from Dark Reign. So, it's just like it's basically like the inverted Illuminati, right? So it's Norman Osborn, Dr. Doom, and Namor, and Loki, and White Queen, and Dormammu, and all this stuff. And everybody leaves that first meeting, and Doom and Namor are the only ones still there. And Namor goes, "How do we play this, Victor?" And he goes, "The same as we always do. We let them make mistakes, and when it all is said and done, I get the land, you get the sea." And I was like, man, of course they've had that agreement since day one.
Well, I mean, it only makes sense, right?
All right. Next up, we have X-Men Noir #2 variant edition, signed by Dennis Calero. It's number 5 of 25 signed. We got this one for $10 tonight.
Unfortunately for me, being a Captain America fan, they really had a hard time catching me with this because while they were doing these books roughly about the same time, over the Ultimate Universe, Captain America becomes the president, which is what I've always wanted to see. So when they were like, oh, they're doing this really cool stuff over there, I'm like, I don't care. I want to read this month's President Cap, and I don't care what else is going on.
So Art Rocket Gold. Hold on, buddy. The hashtag has changed for tonight.
Oh,
Jay, do you mind throwing it up there for Art?
Marcus, that's great. The Doom and Namer thing. That's Pinky in the Brain stuff right there. What are we going to do tonight? What we do every night.
All right. So Art,
the
hashtag for tonight is hashtag EXP Marvels. So throw that up there in the chat, buddy. All right. Okay. So last signed book of the night, Fantastic Four, number 571, signed by Jonathan Hickman. And we've got it for $19.99. All right, let's do a quick Rex cap.
The Corpse of Galactus.
Let's do a quick Rex cap of everything we've covered so far.
And I think it was right around here we got Earth. Is it 1409 or 4109? Which it turns out that like Franklin Richards, he just creates one. He kind of gets this story where I don't remember exactly what part this was, but I think as usual his dad is dealing with stuff, and he's like, you have to go and make your own friends or whatever. So he basically creates a Marvel timeline. I think it's maybe 4109 because the Easter egg is in Loki this week,
right? Or
I guess last Thursday or whatever. But I think that's sort of like from the Hickman run, which was a big upswing. Fantastic Four is hard to do. We've talked about this a bunch of times. Fantastic Four is really hard to do. I mean, in the Ultimates, they went in a complete opposite direction. They made Reed Richards a supervillain, like the supervillain.
Right.
I think given the Fantastic Four 616 history, I think what Hickman and those people have done has been, that's like commendable to try to breathe new life into something that's 50-something years old, almost 60 years old.
All right, so let's head into the Rex Gap. All right, so first up, Harley Quinn, #1, signed with Harley cover sketch by Dan Needlinger. Suggested retail of $149.99. We've got it for $96 tonight for the year. I think that Harley was introduced.
I wish Dan was in the chat because I have questions about who is this supposed to be. Barbie, Lady Gaga. What are we doing here? Not that I have complaints. I'm just curious.
It's Harley
I
Quinn.
definitely think it's Margot Robbie because it seems like it's from the first Suicide Squad movie.
I would agree.
Okay.
CJ. All right. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, #1, signed with Black Widow, Captain America, Wolverine cover sketch by, again, Dan Needlinger. Suggested retail of $199.99. We have it for $129.99. Yeah, I would go with Marcus. It is definitely Margot and Art. All right, so another one by Dan Needlinger. I love his stuff personally.
Yeah, Rex.
Yes.
Rex, did you have multiple copies of this? Because it looks like Ron claimed a Winter Soldier CCA a little while back.
He did. I missed that. No. So I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay, so Ron did.
You're so busy mumbling, right? You're missing people buying books.
So, well, sometimes when you talk, John, after like the third or fourth word, it just turns into blah, 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 blah in my brain. All right. Thank you for catching that for me, Jay. I appreciate it, buddy. At least there's somebody's paying attention in the room. All right. So got you, Ron.
So he's going to get the $5 from Nick, not us, you're saying.
Probably. All right. So
that's per sure.
Then the next one would be Batman #1, signed with classic Batman cover sketch by Brendan and Brian Frame. It's just a retail of $129.99, and we've got it for $75 tonight.
Yeah, that's just very cool. That's a great way to kind of get something with a lot of Golden Age energy, which, let's be honest, Golden Age books are not in everyone's reach. I mean, even lesser, like lower tier character Golden Age books now are crazy expensive. This is kind of a great way to, when you have these artists doing these reproductions or homages or whatever.
Autopilot. Yeah, you know it, round guy. That's why I got guys like Jay and JD and Robbie, paying attention. John is just as delirious.
Jay is
as
the
I am.
host of the subreddit that bashes this show endlessly. Those guys suck.
Jay would never do that. He's
Jay
too
would
nice a guy.
absolutely do
You,
that.
on the other hand, sir, you would be suspect number one. Okay. I've seen you moderator of the big, almost 100K worth of people. The South Jersey food scene.
That group is
You're almost up to 100K, aren't you?
When we started that group, that was very small. It was a couple dozen businesses.
Dude, there are.
Foodies.
John had to be super active today, blocking people off the thing because you're not supposed to be negative. Dude, I love looking at pictures of food. So I love the recommendations. It's in my area. But I got to be honest with you. Most of it is just looking for the controversy. Ooh, John blocked somebody. First thing I asked him, hey, who'd you have to block today? What happened?
You know what? You can complain about food anywhere. You really can.
Yeah. The
idea
like
here
that,
was
that
to
your group
create a
does that.
space that was positive. Like kind of what we do here to a certain extent. We really don't bash too many creators. We
bash each other.
No, that's different though. I mean, like Robbie doesn't open the show with, let me tell you why Image sucks, everybody. Like you don't see that, right? We might not like a certain book. We might not like the direction a certain creator takes, but for the most part, we try to keep everything, kind of on the positive. Everybody loves the comics industry here. Everybody wants it to succeed, grow, and that's kind of what we do in that group. It's just when you get to like 100,000, 94,000 people, it gets a little tricky. It gets a little hard.
Oh, it's awesome. It's like, I just get up in the morning, I start reading. Ooh, what happened overnight, man? There's a fight. Oh, I love it. Well, I guess because of the way that it is a food kind of group, I guess that would make it a food fight, wouldn't it?
Right? That's funny. Rex has said, it's just one of those deals where, look, if you have a terrible meal at Olive Garden, I'm sorry, but you chose to go to Olive Garden.
We don't need to hear
and that food is like middle of the road anyway.
I really like that the group is like that.
You chose to go there.
I'm not looking for I'm looking for the.
To use the comic book analogy, I don't text Robbie and say, hey, Robbie, what books did you hate this week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You do, John. You do it all the time, John. Stop lying. Stop kayfabing for the camera.
A perfect example is I see a horror movie I like.
Wow, Robbie's saucy tonight.
If I see a horror movie I like, I'll tell Robbie, hey man, check this out sometime if you're looking for something. I never text Robbie, I just wasted 95 minutes of my life on a slow-moving car crash of a terrible movie.
I thought I was going to be able to contribute something on the group, but like 9 people beat me to it by the time I scrolled down. Somebody was looking for good Filipino food in the area.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to mention Manila Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
But then by the time I was getting ready to do it, I scrolled through and like 9 other people mentioned. I'm like, dude, man, this is tough.
I have a picture somewhere on the internet with a No Sell the World shirt. I wish I could find one that says No Sell the Comic World. That I'd pay real money for.
All right, so let's see. All right, so continuing on with the Rex Cap. All right, so then we have Civil War #2. Number 1, or Civil War 2 #1, signed with Ken cover sketch collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
And if I remember correctly, I think Mariano said this is Loki in the background.
Yeah,
although
a historic, not a Marvel version of Loki.
Yeah, it's like almost like a Wikipedia photo type.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so as you see, the bottom part is all pencils, inks, and color, and the top part is a collage.
Kirby crackle in there. Everything about this I love. Everything.
So if you want to know how it's made or something like this is made, you can go back to 2 Mondays ago. We had Mariano on, and he was had a second camera on him, and he was doing one of those collages while we were on the air.
And there's another one in the pipeline too. He did tell me that because we were talking about these,
right?
And he said these aren't like the one-off. Like we'll probably do some more. He's got a few ideas and stuff like that.
All right. So then next up we have Red Sonja, Black, White, Red #1, Amanda Diebert and Kat Stagg signed Atlas edition. Suggested retail of $75, and we've got it tonight for $19.73.
I mean, they're one of the, kind of power married comics couples where, it seems that living and working together enhances the end result, which I think is really cool.
Marcus. All right.
The mugshot.
That,
Oh no.
so wrong. So
The
wrong.
mugshot from Salon.
All right. Deadpool and Cable number 26, signed by Dwayne Swarinski. We've got that for $19.91.
I have to wonder if there'll be any more Cable appearances in Deadpool 3. I haven't heard that.
I haven't either.
I know we're going to get Wolverine.
All right. So then we had Siege number 1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Number 47 of only 50 signed, and we've got that for $29.99. All right, then we have X-Men Noir number 2, variant edition, signed by Dennis Calero. Number 5 of only 25 signed. We've got that for $10.
The Noir books are very cool. They almost have sort of like the 80s Frank Miller type energy.
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of this. I wouldn't mind seeing I think a character that would probably work well in this noir thing is like Iron Fist.
I would agree.
I'd like to see like an Iron Fist noir or something like that. Maybe set in a different timeline.
I know they did a Luke Cage one. I wonder if I never read it, so I don't even know if Iron Fist is in that. But I know they did a Luke Cage. They did X-Men, Luke Cage, they did Spider-Man. That's where Spider-Man Noir comes from.
I mean, I guess that's probably the one that's the most popular and well-known, right? Spider-Man Noir in the video game and the Spider-Verse movies.
Cool, TJ.
Very cool, TJ.
Scenic New Jersey. I don't know if too many people describe it that way, but okay.
They
We'll
do
go
it
with that.
South Jersey, North Jersey, it's like petrochemical refineries.
Dude, I was in New York over the weekend. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. Was there a Daredevil Noir? I think that's what JD just said. That's
Yeah. All right. So final sign book, Fantastic Four, number 571, signed by Jonathan Hickman. And we have it for $19.99. And I don't know even if you send it to him. I don't know where you're going to get it.
Yeah, I was going to say
Hickman
Hickman signatures aren't like super easy to get. It's not like he's on the con scene all the time or whatever.
Right.
I would maybe, if you're thinking about one, I would probably pick it up, pick this up at the nice price rather than wait for, my guess is when the understanding is the Fantastic Four movie is going to be based on a lot of this Hickman stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. But when it is, my guess is all these prices are going to go up because that's just how this works.
All right. So when we got to go to our next break in a few minutes, but when we come back, we'll go through the grab bag, 10 packs, 7 packs, 15 packs. We also have a new one, a X-Men 20 pack. So 20 random X-Men comics for $20.
We're
then
like 2 months away from tonight. We have the short box, and it's just like we send people a short box to stuff.
And we can send it flat too. All right.
Oh, instead of Robbie doing the covers, Robbie can do the box.
Oh my God, we're never getting that. I'll have grandchildren before Robbie completes that project. All right. Then we'll do incentives from last Wednesday, and then we have a whole bunch of Black Panther back issues. All 9.2 or higher.
Oh, nice.
So for anyone looking to fill in their collection or looking for a particular book. All right. So, but
we'll find out what Robbie's got going on later.
Yeah. How did the weekend go for you, Rob?
Weekend was great. I had a good weekend. It was relaxing. I got to hang out with a bunch of friends. There's no show tonight. We're on the post Horror Fest break, but Van Damme November starts next week with Bloodsport. So get ready.
I am looking forward to it. Actually, Van Damme movies, one of my favorites.
That period of time when we were growing up, it seemed like the movies were so, I hate to use this term, but they were making them so fast and furious. Like, it was constant.
Well, I remember watching.
There was a Seagal movie every year. There was a Van Damme movie every year. There was a Rambo movie every year, or something else was
funny.
So
I remember watching, like, it had to be Van Damme's first movie. Okay, he had the role as a bad guy, and they were trying to push this other kid they were trying to push as a star. It was a martial arts film, and they're trying to push this kid. And, he's the underdog, training, whatever. And Van Damme comes kind of like the Drago character.
Yeah,
he was like the Bulgarian, And the lead actor was smaller than Van Damme, so it made Van Damme appear huge. And they get in the ring, and Van Damme does what he does. I remember watching Van Damme, going, "Damn, he's good."
Yeah.
The other kid,
well, I mean, you look at the first. So. I mean, you look at the first.
You're talking about No Retreat, No Surrender, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I think I am. Yes. I think that's the first time we saw him.
I mean, you look at the Terminator movie. Arnold's job is to kill the lead character. Who does everybody love in that movie? Arnold. It doesn't matter that he's a machine. He's indiscriminately killing people. One of the loudest real life pops I ever heard in the movie theater was when Arnold just says, your boots, your clothes, your motorcycle. He just walks up to Bill Paxton and other people and takes their stuff. And you're like, this is great. This is what this whole movie is going to be. And that's like the whole movie.
All right. So we got to take our next break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
What if Hans Gruber from Die Hard had to battle the Joker from Batman the Animated Series in a dance battle? Or who would win in a race between Baby from Baby Driver and Snidely Whiplash? If Austin Powers and Shrek found themselves in a hot dog eating contest, who would emerge victorious? These are the questions we talk about on Nerd Killer Warfare. Debate the most absurd questions you've ever heard in popular culture. Register now by scanning the QR code or visiting bit.ly/EXP casting. You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise. A promise of adventure. A promise of excitement. A promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hey, we're back. All right, so let's do the grab bag.
Stevie B filling in for since there's no Robbie show tonight, and he's telling you what's on Turner Classic Movies. I like that. That puts Robbie at that level with Turner Classic Movies. I kind of dig that.
It's all I've ever wanted to be at, man.
All right, so Jay, I know that the grab bags you said were on a different file or something, right? I can't really remember, Jay, to be honest.
I think the movie JD's talking about is The Last Dragon.
It's Jay.
Is it Jay in there? Whoever's up there. Well, whoever's doing the EXP account, he's talking about a movie called The Last Dragon.
Yeah, I remember that.
Time
See,
Mock.
See, I thought there was another movie, and that kid was also obsessed with Bruce Lee.
Well,
The one with the no retreat, no surrender.
I don't.
Yeah,
really remember.
Marcus is putting that up too, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. All right, so you ready for the grab bag packs?
And the character everybody remembers from The Last Dragon?
Show enough.
Who's the master? Show enough. The Shogun of Harlem.
According to the internet, No Retreat, No Surrender and The Last Dragon both came out the same year, both about Bruce Lee fans. So there you go.
Okay.
Well, we knew
Carrie,
Last
hello.
Dragon was.
She's here.
OUG, what's up, man? All right, so first up, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. As always, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher. And as always, we have it at $5 for all 10, 50 cents a copy. All right, then we have the Dynamic Forces grab bag 3-pack. Predominantly DC Marvel titles with a few indies sprinkled in. So a 3-pack, random 3-pack is $5. Then we have Dynamic Forces grab bag 7-pack, 7 random DC Marvel few indies. And we have that for $10. And then we have Dynamic Forces grab bag 15-pack, 15 random DC Marvel titles. And we've got that for $20. All right, we got a new grab bag tonight. X-Men Random 20-pack grab bag. So 20 random X-Men titles.
Who's selecting these books, Alex?
You betcha. So from the 90s with a chance of the 80s or 2000s, books are 9.0 or better. Okay, so that's 20 random X-Men comics, predominantly from the 90s, but there is a chance for an 80s or 2000s sandwich in there, 9.0 or better for $20.
Yeah, there's a whole thing Last Dragon that the guy who was Crazy Eddie had a chance to actually essentially play himself. And at the last minute, he pulled out because of legal issues, and they kind of created the Crazy Eddie-like character.
The guy that was the lead, that kid.
Time Mock. I forget what his real name was.
I saw him in New York City subways on New Year's Eve, and he was drunk and acting like a madman.
Well, I forget what he was. He comes from some like prominent music producing family.
Yeah.
Time Mock was like a made up name or something. I forget what his real name was, but that guy, that's like a rich kid. People are like, how did he get that when he couldn't act? Because like his parents were
acting was
like he was terrible. Like I said, what does everybody remember from that movie? Show enough.
No, you know what I remember from that movie? Vanity.
Oh,
yeah. All right.
Yeah, somebody said Apollonia, but I think that's Vanity. Who's the girl.
It's Vanity. It's not Apollonia.
Yeah, it's not Apollonia.
Trust me. I that movie I know inside and out. Okay.
The movie that was puberty.
His dad owned a pizza joint. Remember?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the incentives from last week. All right, here we go. Almost Dead number 1 in 5, Tyler Kirkman variant. Trading for 15. We've got it for 8 tonight.
Nice.
All right. Hey, Ryan, what's up, man? All right, then we have Almost Dead number 1 in 10, Tyler Kirkman black and white variant. Trading for 20. We've got it for 12.
Suddenly it gets much better in black and white.
All right. Then we have Return of Superman 30th anniversary special number 1, 1:25 ratio, Brad Walker variant. Trading for 25. We've got it tonight for 18.
I remember that. They were just so desperate to try to figure out what to do with Superman. He's like Bart Simpson, he's Iron Man, he's a cyborg, and then they kind of did this thing with the mullet and machine guns. So I'm like, oh no, please.
I know.
You can mess around with a lot of characters, but there are certain characters you cannot change. You can't turn Batman into the Punisher, and you can't turn Superman into any of these people.
All right. So then we have Return of Superman 30th anniversary special number 1, 150 ratio, John Bogdanov variant. Trading for 50. We've got it for 40. All right, then next up, we got Spider-Boy 2023, number 1, 150 ratio, David Aja variant. It is trading for 45, and we've got it for 35.
It's a great cover. I'm not even, I'm not sure if I've really read anything significant with Spider-Boy, but the covers for this thing are very cool.
I was actually impressed with this Spider-Boy book. I wasn't expecting much out of it, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I just, people were like not sure, they were waiting or whatever. Now people are complaining that the books are too expensive, and I'm
Right.
like, oh.
All right, next up we have Spider-Boy 2023, number 1, 1/100 ratio, Humberto Ramos variant, trading for 110, and we've got it for 100 tonight.
Yeah, these are just, they kind of thought, well, we're going to introduce this character, and you know what I mean? The covers here are very cool. And it seems like this character really leans into Virgin covers, right? They really sort of, the trade dress almost gets in the way of the story the cover artist is trying to tell here.
Right.
With this character, I like this.
All right, so next up we have Venom Volume 5, number 27, 125 ratio, Ejikure variant, trading for 20. We've got it tonight for 15.
This is like Venomized Black Widow, right?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, Black Widow is Venom now somehow. So
yeah. Well, Black Widow's had, for years she was just Black Widow. And then the next thing you knew, she was a super soldier. And then there was something else going on. And then she was Iron Man, or had an Iron Man suit. And, now she's Venom.
All right, next up we have Venom Volume 5, number 27, 150, Ejikure Virgin variant, trading for 50, and we've got it tonight for 35. All right, and the next up, Venom Volume 5, number 27, 1/100 Cafu variant, trading for 100. We've got it for 80. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
All
I feel
right.
like they just passed the symbiote around. They're almost treating the symbiote like a Green Lantern ring. I don't have a problem with that, but I just, we're wondering who's getting it next. You know what I mean? I'm wondering what character is just going to pop up out of nowhere and he'll be Venom.
All right, next up we have Ultimate Universe, number 1, 125 ratio. U variant, trading for 25. We've got it for $12.50. Give Jay a second there. There we go.
This was actually a real fun book that I didn't really have high expectations for Ultimate Universe number 1, but it's very much the Ultimate Universe by way of like Hickman's East of World. Like the way that he's thought out the world is that in depth. It's really cool.
Yeah, the Ultimate sort of thing that started on a high note, they kind of leveled off a little bit. And I think when I saw this is, I was hesitant at first, right? Because I really loved the Ultimates the first several years.
Right.
And they kind of got into a little bit of weird stuff where I was like, oh, we really like this. Characters were hopping back and forth. Was not a fan of that. I'm like the guy who never wants to see interleague play. Didn't really want to see a lot of this jumping back and forth. But Hickman decides that he wants his, full lift on the Ultimate Universe. And I'm like, well, yeah, give it to him.
Right. Gotcha. All right. Next up, we have Ultimate Universe number 1, 150 ratio, Ben Harvey variant, trading for 50. We've got it for 30 tonight.
This is a gorgeous cover that somebody totally needs to airbrush onto their 1977 van.
I was just thinking that this needs to go on like a motorhome or a van. Black light interior.
Oh, man. All right. Next up, we have White Widow number 1, 125 ratio, Adam Hughes variant. We've got it trading for 40. We've got it for 30 tonight.
Not Venomized.
All right. Then next up, we have White Widow number 1, 150 ratio, Lee Ricks Lee variant. Trading for 50. We've got it for 28. TJ says, oh, really? No doubt.
Well, you know what? I'm one of these people. I don't have a problem with somebody charging for autographs because that's the world we live in.
I don't either.
Especially
but dude, you made
because
one movie.
Well, I kind of know on a personal level. I kind of know some professional wrestlers, and I know what they go through. They're asked to sign a ton of stuff. That stuff immediately bombs over onto eBay. Even back in the ECW days, those guys were asked. I mean, literally, they were trying to have dinner or trying to get their rental cars, and people were shoving stuff in front of them to sign, and then that stuff went on sale. So, yeah, if you're sort of powering a market there, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with them asking for a signature. I mean, if you randomly meet someone.
No, I don't think there's a problem asking for it. I just think that at $25 to autograph it, dude, you made one movie.
I'll tell you one thing. $25 is actually cheap compared to what some people will charge. And we're talking about people who are like a walk-on Walking Dead zombie wanting like $50-$60 to get a signature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Zombie in Bikini from the original Night of the Living Dead. That lady has been charging like $99 for bikini photos. Now she's a grandmother and she's still getting that money.
Way to go, Grandma.
Well, she lives in North Jersey and she's always at the horror con out of the Meadowlands. She's always there. She's like, her whole life she's been there, and she's literally in the movie for 5 or 6 scenes for a second. She's in a bikini, zombie, whatever. I think she might have appeared on one of the posters. And it's $99 for a combo sign. You have to get the picture with her, and then she signs it.
Right. All right. So last one, White Widow number 1, 1/100 ratio, Stanley Art Germ Lau. It's just a retail of, or it's trading for 150. We've got it for 125 times.
This looks to me like Archerm wanted like Sue Storm to be the White Widow. The gun is for show. I kill you with my brain.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I like Art Germ as much as the next person. He makes some really cool covers. But he draws one person. He just draws that same person, just with a different uniform, right? This is his Sue Storm. This is his Black Widow. This is his White Widow. This is his Gamora. This would be his Superman if he could get away with it.
Is he right? Older fans would call this Frank Choing, because every girl Frank Cho draws is Linda Carter, and I would give him a kidney if he asked me for it, because that's how much I appreciate that and love Linda Carter. But dude, every woman you draw is Linda Carter. Hair changes, costume changes. Look at the face and eyes. Look at any picture of Linda Carter from 1979 to
right.
15 minutes ago that she posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
At the SAG-AFTRA thing.
Yeah. You're right.
And I'll say this, if you are looking for God's perfect ideal woman as a role model, as an artist, it's harder to find better than Linda Carter.
I would
For
agree
the
with that.
entirety of our lives, she's been absolutely drop dead gorgeous, beautiful.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
in a world of comic, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a different story. And I don't even think Frank Cho really denies it all that much. He's just like, that's what I draw. And there's a big, long line of cons of people waiting for sketches, signatures, commissions, whatever.
All right. So let's do, and reminder, anybody that joined us late, the giveaways tonight are, first one will be True Believers. Carol Danvers, number 1. Reprints Marvel Superheroes, number 13 from 1962.
See, I think this is very cool. I really like what they did here with this. Maybe it's just because I have the original, but I really like this.
All right. And then the second giveaway is Magnificent Miss Marvel, number 2 from 2019. All right. So you know what? Let's do the first giveaway now, because we got 2 tonight. So, all right, give everybody a minute. Hashtag EXP Marvels. You need to add that. Hey, Neil, you need to add that in the chat. So I'll give everybody like 30 seconds to go ahead and do it if they haven't done it already. So you have a chance to enter into the first drawing, which will be True Believers, Carol Danvers, number 1 for Marvels Week, I guess. All right, so everybody's in. I'm going to tell our buddy Jay to spin that wheel. All right, here we go. And the winner is Phil.
Phil Ayling, congratulations.
Phil, congrats, buddy. So Phil is the winner of the first drawing. True Believers, Carol Danvers, #1. Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, I really like this. This is a nice. That's a nice piece of business, as they say right there. I like that.
Yeah, after you brag that you have the original.
I do have the original. I've worked hard to have all the original Captain Marvel stuff from like 60 whatever.
All right. So let's do a quick Rex cap. We'll cover the grab bags and the incentives. And then we still have the Black Panther back issues to go. All right, so starting from the top, Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, so $40 or higher retail. And we've got it, as always, for $5, 50 cents a comic for the group out there. All right. Then we have Dynamic Forces grab bag 3-pack, mostly DC Marvel titles with a few indies scattered throughout. And the 3-pack is $5. The DF grab bag 7-pack is $10. And then the DF grab bag 15-pack is $20.
Hold on 1 second. Phil, there's a link. Jay will throw up the link at some point.
Actually, Phil, it's actually pinned to the top of the chat.
Oh.
Click on that link, fill out all the info. That will automatically send an email to me and Amy, and we'll get the giveaway right out to you, buddy. All right. And we still have the one giveaway. If you already put the hashtag in, you don't need to do it again. But if you haven't, make sure to do so. It's hashtag EXP Marvels. We still have one more giveaway to do. All right. So new grab bag, we have X-Men random 20-pack grab bag. So 20 random X-Men titles, mostly from the 90s, with a chance of the 80s or the 2000s. All the books are 9.0 or better. We've got that for $20, so $1 a copy. It is the X-Men random 20-pack grab bag. We're going to have this as another one of our regular running grab bags. All right, so then we had Almost Dead, #1, 1-5 ratio, Tyler Kirkman. Trading for $15. We've got it tonight for $8. Then we had Almost Dead, #1, 110.
Black and white, right?
What's that?
We have this in black and white. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. The 110 ratio, Tyler Kirkman, black and white variant. Trading for $20. We've got it for $12. Then we have Return of Superman 30th Anniversary Special 125 ratio, Brad Walker variant. Trading for $25. We've got it for $18. Then we have Return of Superman 30th Anniversary Special 150 ratio, John Bogdanoff variant. Trading for $50. We've got it for $40.
I love doing this so much. He named his son Kal-El. I have to appreciate that. When you kind of wonder like how into these characters the creators are.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that I like. I always thought that was very cool.
All right. Then we have Spider-Boy 2023, #1, 150 David Aja variant. Trading for $45, and we've got it for $35.
Robbie mentioned this a little bit earlier. I'm kind of wondering if at least part of the impetus to create Spider-Boy was riding the wave of that sort of teenager success of Superboy and Robin. You know, maybe I'm wondering if maybe Marvel took a look at that and thought, hey, you know what? Maybe there's a little there. Let's have our own guy out there in the mix.
Right.
I would say it's a little bit of that, but maybe more so trying to replicate the Spider-Gwen Miles Morales success.
Yeah.
All right. So then next up, we had Spider-Boy 2023, #1, 1/100 ratio, Humberto Ramos variant, trading for $110. We've got it for $100. Then we have Venom Volume 5, #27, 125 ratio, Ejikure variant, trading for $20. We've got it for $15.
I'll tell you a thing I saw today in all the comic chats that really kind of made me jump out. She's currently in Gen V. One of the big comments were, should there be a live action Spider-Gwen? Would that work or not? And my answer is always, well, you have to get the right person to make it work, right? And somebody pointed out, obviously, Haley Stanfield is the voice for it, but she's Hawkeye.
Right.
Who are you going to get to be Spider-Gwen? And I don't remember. I don't know who it was. It was just a name in the chat, but they nailed it right on the head. Spider-Gwen should be Lizzie Broadway from Gen V. That's your Spider-Gwen. And it was almost like getting hit in the forehead by a 2x4. I was like, yeah, I would totally pay money to see that multiple times.
All right. So next up, we got Venom Volume 5, number 27, 150 ratio Ejikuri Virgin variant. Trading for 50, we have for 35. Then Venom Volume 5, number 27, 1/100 ratio Cafu variant. Trading for 100, we've got it for 80. Ultimate Universe number 1, 125 ratio.
Yeah, Jay, Little Cricket. That's the
Lanil U variant. Trading for 25. We've got it $12.50. Then Ultimate Universe 150 ratio Ben Harvey variant. Trading for 50. We've got it for 30. Then you got White Widow number 1, 125 ratio Adam Hughes variant. Trading for 40. We've got it for 30.
Wednesday's friend, and I'll tell you what would also work, and I don't know if she would want to do it, but I'm wondering if they would consider talking to Zendaya, who's actually Gwen Stacy. You know, hey, you want to put on the suit, you want to kind of, you know what I mean? This is an actor with, you know, huge box office, huge upside, already familiar with the franchise. From what I understand, you know, very athletic, would not have any problems with, you know, the limited stunt work they'd require for her to do. I think that's another sort of, if we're living in a world where Dazzler's best go-to is Taylor Swift, then I think pretty much, you know, Lady Gaga is going to be Harley Quinn. I think like all the cards are, you know, I think everything's on the table now.
All right. So then we had White Widow number 1, 150 ratio Lyrics Lee variant. Trading for 50. We have it for 28. And then White Widow number 1, 1/100 Art Germ variant, trading for 150, and we have it for 125. All right, you know what? Before we got to go to our next break.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Let's have a little fun. All right. With the variants. All right. So on the Return of Superman 30th anniversary, 1/25 ratio, the Brad Walker variant, trading for 25. We have it at 18. Okay, we'll do it at 14 tonight, but only tonight. And you got to get in tonight. I can't do it if you're watching the rewind. Cannot honor these prices.
We have to sell 5 more books or Rex loses his job. Please buy these.
You know, one common thing, it's a common misconception about the Return of Superman, like the black costume, the mullet. Those, in fact, are not like that. Those, whatever they're called, they're not. It's not weapons. It's not ammunition or anything like that. It's actually just a bunch of Tic Tacs. Man, that sounded way funnier in my head, guys. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, you know what? You didn't stick the landing, but the idea was really good.
Yeah,
yeah, Ryan, I agree with you. I actually, yeah, we would need a Dazzler 1 signed by Kels if Taylor Swift gets that role.
Yeah, all right. So then we have Spider-Boy 2023 number 1, 150 ratios. David Aja variant.
He's going to keep showing it until you buy it. So someone
trading for 45. We have it for 35. Okay, we'll do it for 30 tonight.
Oh, saving you money. Nice.
There you go. All right. So then, all right, Spider-Boy 2023 number 1, 1/100 ratio Humberto Ramos variant.
He got hair products in those pouches.
Trading for 110. We've got it for 100. We'll do it for 80 tonight.
He's Superman, not Robbie, man. Those are not hair products in the pouches.
I don't know, man. When you grow a mullet for the first time, especially back in 1993, you have to revitalize everything that you think about when it comes to hair care. So there you go.
All right. So then White Widow number 1, 125 ratio Adam Hughes variant, trading for 40. We've got it for 30. We'll do it for 25 tonight. All right.
Really
These
nice
are
cover
only
for
good
$25.
during the show, people. So I will mention them again as an extra Rex cap later, but we will only honor these prices during the show live. All right. So there we go. That mullet takes Soul Glow.
Thanks, Coming to America reference. Good job, Marcus.
Oh man. All right. So we have Black Panther back issues to get to next. We will do that as soon as we come back from our break. All right. So stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Nope.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find the link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP. Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
Comic Collectables is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectables with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Hey, we're back. All right. So, hey, number one Marvel fan, thanks for joining us, buddy. All right. So now we've got, to remind everybody, we did special prices on the incentive. So we're going to go through that real quick, Jay. A quick Rex cap. All right. So Return Superman 30th anniversary special, number 1. 125 ratio Brad Walker variant. Trading for 25, we had it at 18. We lowered it to 14. We can only honor these prices while the show is live. All right. Then we had Spider-Boy 2023 number 1, 150 ratio, David Aja variant. Trading for 45, we had it at 35. Now we have it at 30. All right, so then we have Spider-Boy 2023, number 1, 1/100, Humberto Ramos variant. Trading for 110. We had it for 100. It is now 80.
I like this a lot. I really do. I think this is this is the kind of cover that they wind up recreating in an animated series or a live action movie.
All right, so then we had White Widow number 1, 125, Adam Hughes variant. Trading for 40, we had it at 30, and we've got it now for 25 for tonight.
This one looks straight out of like a 1992 issue of Swimsuit Illustrated, does it not?
This is like the Avengers swimsuit issue. It's
Farrah Fawcett poster kind of vibe.
Well, it's Adam Hughes. Sure. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where artists have really, like the top artists, really lean into their gimmick now. If they're going to take the time to sit down and do a character, they do what they want their way.
Did you see the Adam Hughes recent She-Hulk variant for Sensational She-Hulk number 1? It was a foil cover, but she's basically at the pool on some floats, right? And there's a bunch of floats like duct taped together so that they can fit her. That's a nice little bit, but they only did the foil treatment on the water and the reflection. So it actually looks really cool, and it looks almost like three-dimensional. It's really awesome, interesting.
Marcus, you're right. It does look like a Bond girl. It almost certainly does.
I'll tell you what's his name's backup singers from Addicted to Love. You know, remember that? Was that Robert Palmer? What's his name? Is that
Robert Palmer?
I'll tell you right now, if Black Widow is a Bond girl, Bond's not making it. I'll just tell you right now. Bond is not making it.
Dude,
I love.
Think about Famke Janssen in GoldenEye, and she's kind of like a very much a Black Widow-ish type character.
Yeah, you're right. Looks like Ruby Rose. That actually it's true as well.
I understand that actress has like significant health issues. She's talked about it on different social. She's had back surgeries. She's sort of like held back from her career by physical shortcomings. And I got to believe for someone that's young and super popular and they're trying to throw work her way, and literally she was talking about him having trouble standing for more than 3 minutes at a time. I mean, Ruby Rose is a kind of character that if she can get past her health issues, I don't know if it's surgery or whatever, but if she can get past that, she could step into something, including Black Widow, with no problem.
Right. No, I agree. All right. So let's do the Black Panther back issues. All right. And we've got a bunch of them. All right. So starting off, Black Panther Volume 3, Number 2, Marvel Knights, Bruce Timm variant. We've got this one for $5.
There's just something cool about when Bruce Timm does something that's not Batman.
I remember when this cover came out, I lost my mind. I had to get this one. Also, my favorite iteration of Black Panther ever is the Christopher Priest Marvel Knights run on Black Panther. When I got to meet him in September, we chatted a lot about this run. And if y'all have never read Christopher Priest's run on Black Panther, you have to do that. That's one of the best Marvel comics I've ever read.
Christopher Priest's run on pretty much anything recently, go get that and read it. Because
when you read his stuff and the way he plays with structure, he carries that into everything. He's got a run on Deathstroke that a lot of people really like. He's of course the writer on Vampirella. He's been the architect of Vampirella for the last few years. So doing lots of solid stuff.
All right, so we almost have the whole run of Marvel Knights here. So
we'll
now
call this the Robbie collection.
Yeah, we could call it that probably. All right, so Black Panther Volume 3, Number 3, Marvel Knights first cameo of White Wolf, and we've got that for $5.
Yeah, TJ, to be clear, I don't know for certain. I just know people have asked what happened to Ruby Rose. Why isn't she in more stuff? Why is she in something and then disappears? My understanding is it's health issues. It's certainly not
Well,
that
it's a shame
they're
because a lot of
disappointed or
stuff that she was cast in requires like John Wick, and then
well, she's got action hero energy. That's why they tried to make her Batwoman, or she was Batwoman for a while. The if you look at her, the energy she gives on camera is she's ready to shoot or throw hands.
Right. But let's say that probably the physical ailments would be less of a factor if she was being cast for things like Downton
Abbey. Yeah, if she just got to sit there in costume, it would be a lot easier.
And drink tea. So it's
jump through these monkey bars, do a somersault,
and
shoot
those 5 guys, please.
And then we'll bring in the stunt person. Wait, what?
And Jay, you're right. Christopher Priest is also the co-creator of Quantum and Woody, which is another fantastic book with MD Bright, who eventually comes onto this run. So, yeah.
All right. So next up, we have Black Panther, Volume 3, Number 4, Marvel Knights, first full White Wolf.
Nice.
We got this one for $15. These are all 9.0 or better.
White Wolf was cool. White Wolf had that 15 minutes of fame that was very cool. And as Quantum and Woody is a book that was good, kind of went away with the whole Valiant, I'm there, I'm not, I'm there, I'm not. And then it came back and they did it again, and it was still good. It's hard to capture that kind of lightning in a bottle that far apart. It wasn't like it was 6 months off. It was like 6, 7, 8 years. Then, you know what I mean? Where that book wasn't being done, and he came back and it was like he didn't miss a step.
All right, next up we have Black Panther Volume 3, Number 5, Marvel Knights, and we have this one for $5.
Oh, this is very cool.
Then we have Black Panther Volume 3, Number 6, Marvel Knights, have that one for $5.
See, if they really are going to restart Black Panther or reboot Black Panther, I would absolutely love to see Christopher Priest get that call.
It's a Joe Jesco issue too, by the way.
All right, so then Black Panther Volume 3, Number 7. We have that one for $5.
Yeah, Marcus, what you said is true. Nothing makes me like a performer more than when the internet dislikes them. I don't care if it's a band. I don't care if it's a movie. If there's these rabid fanboys banging on their keyboards or whatever, nothing will make me like that more because they're upset that someone likes them. Wrestling, it doesn't matter what it is.
All right, so then we have Black Panther Volume 3, Number 8. We have that for $5.
Man.
Then it's
hard for a character to take Captain America off center stage on a book he's on, primarily because that's just the way we're programmed to think, especially older fans. But you barely notice Captain America because Black Panther looks so good here.
You know, one of my favorite things about being a comic book nerd is like somebody who like is not familiar with this run would look at this and go, what's up with Cap's shield? What's up with Wonder Man? And I would be like, well, actually, at this time in continuity, Captain America lost his shield. He had an ionic energy shield.
Energy shield.
All right, next up we got Black Panther Volume 3, Number 9. First Junta, and we got that for $5.
And Jay, that's sort of the best policy what Jay just said. There's a lot of stuff out there he doesn't like. You know what he does? Keeps it to himself or scrolls on by. There's no need to add, that's like getting a bucket of kerosene and throwing it on a fire. You're not really helping,
All right, so then we have Black Panther Volume 3, Number 10. Have that for $5. Then we have Black Panther Volume 3, Number 11. And we've got that for $5.
Look at that beautiful MD Bright cover. That's the other co-creator of Quantum and Woody right there.
Quantum and Woody, right? Yeah. I mean, that's just wow.
All right. Then we have
someone who's looking to kind of fill out the Black Panther run here. This is sort of your moment.
Let me get to that because we got a special surprise. All right. So Black Panther Volume 3, Number 12. Got that for $5. Black Panther Volume 3, Number 13. Got that for $5. Black Panther Volume 3, Number 14. We have that for $5. I know I'm going pretty quick, Jay. All right, Black Panther Volume 3, Number 15. We've got that for $5.
That might be the only time I'm not 100% sure Black Panther's got it. Most cover situations, I'm like, it's okay. Black Panther's got that. For the Hulk to be that close, You sure, dude? Okay, man. I'll take your word for it, but
All right.
I don't want to be.
So we've got Black Panther Volume 3, number 16 for $5.
Oh, nice.
Black Panther Volume 3, number 17 for $5.
Oh, man. Jungle Action was a great book back in the day. It really sort of filled out the character of Black Panther, like the original Jungle Action books. It's very cool. I have not seen this cover before.
All right. Then Black Panther Volume 3, number 18 for $5.
Oh, Killmonger always has rage, dude.
Number
Do you remember
19.
that famous scene from Black Panther where with Killmonger in the waterfall? Look at that cover. Now you know where it comes from.
Number 19 for $5. And number 20 for $5. All right. So the only one missing in this run. Hey, Joel. The only one that's missing in this run is number 1. All right. So from number 2 to number 20, at the prices that we got, $105. If you take the entire run, 2 through 20, we'll do it for $90.
Oh!
I guarantee that anybody who buys this and reads it will not regret that purchase whatsoever.
Dude.
The only one missing is issue number 1.
I'd be
From number
disappointed
220,
if somebody doesn't take this.
We have it priced at $105 for everyone. You buy the whole run, got it for $90, and they are a 9.0 or higher. I
Make
assure
Alex
you.
go find number 1. Tell them to deep dive in the warehouse. Don't come out until you have number 1.
Well, number 1's kind of a big deal now because it's the first appearance of the Dora Milaje, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, all of those elements that people love in the Black Panther movie, a lot of that. Obviously, we owe a lot to Kirby, but Christopher Priest and his collaborators, they really set up that movie in this comic book series.
Agreed.
Yeah, unless the audience is asleep, someone should be buying this at $90. Because I'll tell you right now, at my age, I'm not running around to 3 stores to try to find books at this level or whatever.
I can't make a deal no better than that, people.
And it was a very long and extended run too. I mean, it kept going, and it's the best Black Panther run, y'all. I'm telling you. And you cannot find those trade paperback collections anymore. The omnibuses are going out of print. This is the way to get it right here, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do a full recap. I saw a lot of people jumped in a little bit late. So we're going to do a full Rex cap. Got some special deal incentives that we did just for tonight, and then we'll do the final drawing at the end.
Dude, 19 comic books for $90.
Best I can do without getting killed. All right, here we go. Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $40 retail or higher, and we've got it for $5. Dynamic Forces grab bag. The 3-pack is $5. The 7-pack is $10. And the 15-pack is $20. Predominantly DC Marvel titles with a few indies sprinkled in. A new grab bag of the night. X-Men random 20-pack grab bag. 20 random X-Men titles from the 90s with a chance of 80s or 2000s. Sprinkled in there. Books are a 9.0 or better. Incentives, Almost Dead, number 1, 1 in 5, Tyler Kirkman variant. Trading for 15, we've got it for 8. Almost Dead, number 1, 1 in 10 ratio, Tyler Kirkman black and white. Trading for 20, we've got it for 12. Then we did a show special, Return of Superman 30th anniversary special, number 1, 125 ratio, Brad Walker variant. Trading for 25. We had it for 18, and tonight only we lowered that to 14.
That's just for the show, right?
Yep, just for the show.
Which has 14 minutes left, so some of you guys got to start clicking.
Return of Superman 30th anniversary special 150 John Bogdanov variant. Trading for 50. We've got it for 40. Our other incentive special, Spider-Boy 2023 number 1. 150 ratio, David Aja variant, trading for 45. We had it for 35. Tonight only, we've got it for 30. Spider-Boy 2023, number 1, 1 in 100, Humberto Ramos variant, trading for 110. We had it for 100. Tonight only, we lowered it to even further to 80. Venom Volume 5, number 27, 125 ratio, Ejikuri variant. Trading for 20, we've got it for 15. Venom Volume 5, number 27, 150 Ejikure Virgin variant. Trading for 50. We've got it for 35. Venom Volume 5, number 27, 1/100 ratio Cafu variant. Trading for 100. We've got it for 80. Ultimate Universe number 1, 125 Lanil U variant. Trading for 25. We've got it for $12.50.
I kind of like when Ultimate Thor has that other hammer. I know Thor fans really hate that hammer, but I kind of like the fact that it kind of like separated him a little bit from.
All right. Then we had Ultimate Universe number 1, 150 ratio Ben Harvey variant. Trading for 50. We've got it for 30. Then White Widow number 1, 125 Adam Hughes variant. Trading for 40. We had it for 30. For tonight only, we have it for $25. Then we had White Widow number 1, 150 Leritz Lee variant. Trading for 50. We got it for 28.
Round Guy wants the Panther stuff.
All right, Round Guy, you taking the whole collection, buddy? I got you, my friend.
That's awesome.
Nice job, Round Guy. Somebody absolutely had to pick that up. That's one of those things too where if you want it, that's awesome.
Awesome. You got it, Round Guy.
But you hold on to that, and then when Black Panther goes back in the movies, if you decide to sell it.
Round Guy, dude, I'm going to throw in something special for you because you just saved me from having to read all those books in the Rex Cap because that's a lot of books, man.
If you bought the books, he'd stop talking, my God.
Thank you, Round Guy.
Send him something nice.
I will.
Yeah, I mean, I think Robbie's I don't think Robbie's putting it over too much. What he's saying is true. I don't know if there's been a better run of Black Panther. I think the only thing you can even compare it to in quality is that sort of original Kirby introduction to the character when everything's all new and wonderment, and you know what I mean? I don't.
The other thing is there is not a single voice, a single creator who has more of an established run on this character than Priest. Like,
yes.
Priest worked more on T'Challa than anybody else had before, during, or after. And he was able to really build up that world.
Well, like you mentioned it, a lot of what we saw in the movie, you know, what the original Ultimates run did for the Avengers franchise movies is exactly what this run did for the Black Panther movie. Correct. It gave you essentially the framework for this is what you should be shooting for.
All right, so White Widow number 1, 1/100 Art Germ variant, trading for 150. We've got it for 125. All right, and then the unsold cover sketches. We got Harley Quinn number 1 signed with Harley cover sketch by Dan Needlinger. Suggested retail of $149.99. We've got it for $96 tonight. Then we had Batman number 1 signed with classic Batman cover sketch by Brendan and Brian Frame. Suggested retail of $129.99. We have it for $75. Then we have Civil War II number 1 signed with Kang cover sketch collage by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Just retail $149.99. We have it for $69.99.
The wild thing about these collages is I guess I shouldn't be, but I'm more focused on the image in the back, not the image in the front, which is weird, right? Because that's not usually how you look at images on a cover.
Yeah, it's a contrast. All right, so then we had Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red number 1, Amanda Debert and Kat Staggs, signed Atlas editions, just a retail of $75. We got it for a ridiculous $19.73. Then we had Deadpool and Cable number 26, signed by Dwayne Sorinsky, and we've got that one for $19.91.
One of the things Rachel Holland talked about is she's working on doing the Black, White, and Red cover in actually Black, White, and Red.
That should be interesting.
She's working with like a new graphics person or whatever. I'm seriously looking forward.
She's really committing herself to it too, John. She hasn't seen the sun in like 3 months. She's like really going for it.
All right, so then we had Siege number 1 signed by Brian Michael Bendis, and we've got that for $29.99.
Yeah, Amanda Debert's done a lot of stuff, but Darkwing Duck.
And then we have X-Men Noir #2, variant edition signed by Dennis Calero. 5, only 25 signed. We got that for a ridiculous $10. And then finally, Fantastic Four #571, signed by Jonathan Hickman. Impossible signature to get. We have it for $19.99. If you send it away, you'd spend for Jonathan Hickman sign, you'd spend a lot more than that.
And I'll tell you what I love about this cover. We've talked about this before. The Fantastic Four are almost like the missing link between science adventure books of the 50s and what superhero comics became in the 60s, because they're not superheroes in the terms of I'm stopping bank robbers, right. I'm stopping the villain of the week. They are primarily explorers, right? Adventurers, scientists. And I think that's kind of what you had, of course, Challengers of the Unknown. But if you look at the books from the 50s, there are a lot of books like that.
Well, the phrase that Mark Waid coined in his run with Mike Wieringo was Imaginauts, right?
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So they don't go out there and stop crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they stop an incursion from the negative zone.
Right.
Yeah. Usually what happens is that one of Reed's experiments goes awry and they got to clean it up.
When they did that whole Council of Reed,
self-inflicted.
When they had that whole Council of Reed storyline, and they really give Dr. Doom some amazing lines and moments.
And that's what this is. This is the Council of Reed stuff right here. Yeah.
They're trying to figure out like how to stop it. And they're like, well, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this. And they're like, it's impossible. You can't do it. And Doom turns to them and says, what does Richards always do when faced with the impossible? And somebody at the table says, he builds a machine. And Doom is like, we got him. Because all we have to do is stop him from building the machine. Because
I'll tell you this, Rick and Morty fans, that show owes a lot to Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. I'm just going to tell you, the Council of Ricks is straight up.
I was going to say, that's like straight Hickman stuff. Man.
All right, so time out because we got to do the last drawing.
Oh,
all right.
Free stuff for people.
Jay, if you would, please.
Good luck, everybody.
All right, spin it, Jay.
Spin it.
He'll have that
Price
sound
is right.
effect. He'll have the sound effect for us.
Mike Asbill. Congratulations,
congrats,
Mike.
buddy. So I've been kind of holding stuff back to ship to Mike. He wanted to like bundle up so he could save on shipping. Now I got something else to ship to Mike.
Mike is going to get like a long box of stuff. Here you go, bud.
So, so you are off tonight, right? Because you're taking your Horrorfest break.
Taking the Horrorfest break, but we're coming back next week for Bloodsport.
Yep.
What?
Doing Van Damme.
Yeah, the Van Damme November lineup is Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and the winner of the poll, the Van Damme audience poll, is Universal Soldier.
So, nice.
Well, wait, what was his first movie? Never Back Down, Never Surrender?
It was Never Surrender. It's not his first movie. He's actually in Breakin'. He's like an uncredited dancer in Breakin'. I don't know if you knew that or not, but he is. But I do want to show this off real quick. Look what I got in the mail today, y'all. And this is your clue to what we're doing for the first PCP movie night of 2024.
Nice.
But this is all of the Police Academy movies. So
after 2.
Yeah, but you know what? It wouldn't be fun just to do 1 and 2.
It would be. It would be. I mean, he was classic. But then they just tried to milk that for every dime they get out of it.
These movies, I haven't seen these movies since I was a kid, and we're doing it like in the beginning of January, and I'm really looking forward to it because like they're so mixed matched in my head. I was like, oh, I love Citizen Patrol. That's like part 2, right? No, that's part 4. That's part 4? Like, what?
I have that problem with some of the Friday the 13th movies, like trying to keep straight. I remember like the 3 because it was in 3 days, so that sticks in my mind a little bit. But some of those kills are sort of...
Bro, I'll tell you what, it's way easier to keep track of the Friday franchise than it is Saw. Saw 4, 5, and 6 run together so easy. Like, you think they're the same movie.
At least once a year, a buddy, he bought those, I think, on like Apple TV.
Stevie Bay. Thanks, man.
He bought
As
them
always.
on Apple TV, and he just plays them. We come over, and it's like beers, and I'm cooking, and it's just someone getting murdered in that other room. So I'm not even 100% sure. He's a huge Saw fan. The only one I know on sight is the Chris Rock movie because I recognize him.
Right.
Everybody else is just Tobin Bell murdering people.
Oh my
Not that there's anything
God.
wrong with that, but I just can't tell. Like I'll be coming in.
Actually, there is something wrong with that, by the way, John.
I'll be coming in with steaks, and I have no idea where they are in the process of a Saw rewatch.
All right, so Jay, what do we got coming up tonight here? I'm trying to look
Are we
myself.
skipping out to Blue Oyster tonight? You know what? That's not a bad idea.
So at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, we're going to have the Devil's Advocates with
All right,
producer
cool.
Kyle and Bronze Age Nerd, and they're going to be asking the question, are comic eras broken? Like the Golden Age, the Silver Age, Bronze Age, Modern Age. So it
Broken.
should be interesting.
I think the ultimate question is whether or not time is broken. So I hope they try to unpack that mystery.
Look, if you're watching Loki, the answer's yes.
Very broken.
The answer's yes, man. That's not a debate. The other thing sounds like a very interesting show.
Steve Vendetta. What's the Blue Oyster?
None of these comics I bought from the Silver Age are as silver.
Oh, sorry. Dude, it's been a long time since I.
And I'll tell you, if you missed some of those shows that Robbie did for Horror Fest, go back and check them out. Because if you're watching this show, your life is clearly pretty empty. Go back and watch those.
Wow, dude.
That stuff is.
I don't know
very
who
cool.
should feel more insulted, the viewers or me. Anyway.
Yeah, Carrie's right. Timey wimey wibbly wobbly. That's time is not good.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked out our Saw franchise review that we did last week, 3 hours of us talking about 10 Saw movies. It's worth it. And Jelani getting 4, 5, and 6 mixed up all the time. All throughout the show, I'm like, no, Jelani, that's the wrong movie you're describing right now.
All right. So, everyone, thanks for being here. Robbie, John.
Yeah, thanks for Robbie. Jay, thanks for pushing all the buttons, even though we're not really
And
sure what
everybody have a safe and good week. We'll be back
Congratulations to the
Wednesdays.
winners. Surprise winners.
Yep, we'll be back Wednesday at 7. Nick will be here for his art show on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Robbie and I will be on PCB at noon to talk about the topic of the day, whatever that may be. All right. So hopefully something interesting happens between now and Friday.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Peace.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.